That day, Cinderella's father cut the leader of the cows. Her family roasted its meat, but when they tried to eat it, they couldn't eat it because the taste was so bad. When Cinderella ate the meat, it was the most delicious in the world. Cinderella took the hoofs, the teeth, and the horns of the cow and put it in the cow's skin, then buried them at the base of a tree. Days passed into weeks, weeks passed into months, and months passed into years. One day the king's men came to the village. One day the king's men came to the village to announce our prince and princess are getting married. We are inviting you to the palace for the wedding. So, Cinderella's stepmother, her stepsister, and her father got all dressed up to go to the wedding. Cinderella asked her mother, May I go with you? And her mother said, No, you can't go! That's not what she said. She said, You may go with us if you will. Well, I thought she could go if she did everything. You cannot go with us until we come back, and you should wash the dishes, clean the house, wash the clothes, cook the meals, and fill this bucket with your tears. Cinderella's stepmother came back with a large bag of wheat, and she poured it out in the garden and told Cinderella that she had to pick up every single grain and fill the bag until we come back. If you don't do that, I will break all of your bones. Cinderella started crying into the bucket, but she could not fill it. The old lady appeared. Oh, my dear, why are you crying? And Cinderella said, My stepmother ordered me to fill this bucket with my tears. And if I can't, she will break all my bones. Dear, you cannot fill this bucket with your tears. Go get me a lump of salt and some water. Cinderella went into the house and got a lump of salt and put it in the bucket. Then the old lady filled the bucket with water. With her hand she stirred the water and the salt, and she tasted it. It tasted like tears. Then the old lady went and spoke with the chickens. Do you like Cinderella? Yes, of course. We love Cinderella. So much, so much. Okay, well then please help Cinderella. How can we help Cinderella? Gather the wheat, don't eat it, and fill the bag. They did. They filled the bag with wheat. Then the old lady said to Cinderella, Are you ready to go to the wedding? No, I'm not. I don't have anything to wear. Then Cinderella remembered at the base of the tree she had buried the leader of the cow's hoofs, horns, teeth, and in the skin. Cinderella took the skin with the horns and the hoofs and the teeth out of the ground and opened the skin, and the skin turned into the most beautiful dress in the world. Teeth turned into jewelry, and the horn turned into a crown. Hoofs turned into shoes. Cinderella wore the best dress. Cinderella wore the most beautiful necklace and earrings and rings in the world. Cinderella ran to the palace. When Cinderella arrived at the gate, all the soldiers were shocked at how beautiful she was. And when Cinderella went into the palace, all the villagers were in awe of all the countrymen, all the noblemen were in shock at her beauty. When the prince was signing the papers to get married, he looked up and saw Cinderella, and he changed his mind. He wanted to get married to Cinderella. Cinderella was singing and dancing and singing and dancing and singing and dancing. All the people heard and listened to Cinderella's beautiful songs, and they saw her beauty until the middle of the night. At midnight, Cinderella ran home. When she ran home, she lost one of her slippers. When Cinderella got home, she changed her clothes and she put up her jewelry. When her family came home, her stepsister said, "Oh, Cinderella, you missed seeing the most beautiful girl." But Mom did not allow me to go. How could I see the most beautiful girl in the world? Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, months turned into years. Then one day, the villagers heard the voice of the kingsman. The kingsman announced, "We are looking for the owner of this shoe." Ooh! Ooh la la! Every woman and girl is expected to try on this shoe, but this shoe will only fit one person. All the women and girls tried on this shoe and they did not find anyone that it fit. They didn't find the owner of the shoe. Boo-hoo-hoo. Then one of the kingsmen asked, "Don't you have 2 daughters?" He said, "Why, yes. Yes, but she didn't come to the wedding." And the kingsman replied, "We must still have her try the shoe on." When Cinderella tried the shoe on, the shoe fit her foot. Woohoo! Hey, my shoe fit! It fit! Woohoo! Woohoo! It fit! It's mine! The kingsman took Cinderella to the palace. Woohoo! They took her to the palace! They found the owner of the shoe! When the prince saw Cinderella, he said, "It's you! It's you! You're the one from the ball." The kingsman went to her family's house and brought them back to the palace. When the family was brought before the king said, "Your daughter, Cinderella, and my son are getting married." Dun, 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 dun. Cinderella made all her preparations today for the wedding that was to take place tomorrow. Cinderella's mother was filled with envy and jealousy. Cinderella's stepmother took Cinderella to the bathroom to bathe her and wash her and prepare her. Cinderella's stepmother washed Cinderella's hair. When Cinderella's mother was rinsing Cinderella's hair, she took a hammer and put some nails in Cinderella's head. Bad stepmother. She put nails and put more nails and more nails and more nails into Cinderella's head. Cinderella, in pain, prayed to God, my Lord, please deliver me from the hand of this wicked woman. My Lord, please deliver me from the hands of this wicked woman. God heard her prayers, and he turned her into a bird, and the bird flew far away. The bird arrived at the garden of the prince, landing on top of a tree, singing, "Oh, my prince." When my mother was washing my hair, she took nails and hammered them into my head. More nails with a hammer. Here she hit 'em. More nails with a hammer to my head. Then God turned me into a bird. Then God turned me into a bird. What are you talking about? I didn't hear you, Prince said. Come a little bit closer. I can't hear you. Come a little bit closer to me. I can't hear you. Come a little bit closer to me. I cannot hear you, said the prince. Then the little bird came down to another branch. When my mother was washing my hair, she took a hammer and put a nail in my head. More nails, hammer, hammer, more nails. Tweet, 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 tweet. But and God turned me into a bird. Tweet, tweet. And God turned me into a bird. Tweet, 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 tweet. I can't hear you. What are you talking about? Come closer to me, said the prince. Tweet, 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 tweet. Then the little bird flew onto the shoulder of the prince. Tweet, 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 tweet. Then the little bird flew to the shoulder of the prince. When my mother was washing my hair, she took a hammer and nails and she nailed them to my head. Clank, clank, to my head. Tweet, tweet. God turned me into a bird. Fly away, bird. Fly away, bird. Tweet, tweet. Tweet, tweet. Tweet, tweet. Tweet, tweet. Okay, that's 5. Tweet. The prince takes the bird and caresses her head and lovingly caresses her head. Lovingly caresses her head. Lovingly caresses her head. Lovingly, 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 lovingly caresses her head. Then his fingers felt the nail, and he took the nails, took nails, took nails, took nails, took nails, took nails, took all of the nails out of her head. And the bird turned into a naked Cinderella. The prince took off his jacket and covered up Cinderella. The prince took off his jacket and covered up Cinderella. For 40 days and 40 nights they celebrated their wedding. Woohoo! La la la, woohoo! I don't know what else to say. Yay! They got married. Here comes the bride and groom. Woohoo! We have a new princess. Woohoo! So exciting. Ooh la la, here she comes. Our Cinderella tale is finished, and 3 apples fell from the sky. The first apple is for the person that told me the tale. The second apple is for me. And the third apple is for you, the listener. Woo! Woohoo! We're finished! We got it! We did it! Yay!